Hey guys, Jess here from Knockout Print Shop, and today I have for you a new video, obviously. So I'm going to quickly run through my July spreads for 2020 in my Makse Life horizontal planner. It's actually not quite the end of July yet, but we're almost there. So we're going to go ahead and do it because I have the camera out and all that good stuff. So I figured let's do this. So let's look at my month view first. I actually kind of used it a little bit more than I usually do, kind of, sort of. It looks more used than it actually was. So let me just kind of show you what I did. Use my little contact icon here. So glad we have these again to mark when I change my contacts. Because honestly, if I don't have them in here, I totally forget. And then my eyes are dry and I'm like, oh yeah, it's been 3 weeks, not 2. Anyways, then I used our new little mini video camera and a coordinating highlight color to note the video topics that I wanted to do for each week. I did not color code these based on anything like as far as the goal or the topic or anything like that. I just used those colors because I use those colors. There is no reason. So that kind of helped me plan ahead for the month's videos. Today I'm doing the July spreads. And then I used the yellow month view solid labels to note all my meetings. Like you guys, if you've watched my videos before lately, you know I'm doing some remote work for a marketing company, and I've just been putting down all of my meetings. Some of this I'm doing after the fact just so I can get a sense of like my time. Some of it I do ahead of time, and I do leave the time of the meeting sometimes empty because sometimes we do have some changes to that and I don't want to have to like use a new sticker. So that's on there, and then my coaching clients as well are on here. So that's kind of what I've been using it for. Again, I'm not actively looking at this when I'm planning for the week because sometimes, again, meetings get switched around. I am using iCalendar to stay on top of the meetings because they are kind of flexible and evolve, and having a static thing like a paper planner for meetings and things like that doesn't always work when things move around a lot. So it's kind of like an after the fact spread. All right, so we're going to go through the 4 spreads for the week or for the month, and then I'm going to kind of show you my before the pen for this final week here. So we're not going to do goal stuff as usual. We're just going through spreads. Okay, so, and I tried a few new things this month. So this is the first week of July. It was 4th of July week, so I was kind of festive. So we have red, white, and blue here. I did my typical split in half with to-dos in the middle, and then I did meetings here for the most part on the right, and then kind of had home stuff on the left. So this one was a little bit of a cluster. You'll see as we go through the next weeks that I shift this a little bit, but I was using our virtual meeting kind of box label and then hand drawing a drop shadow with my mild liners on it, and I was clumping meetings together, so it wasn't like this was one meeting. So my meetings for the day were at 9 and 10, this was 9:30 and 10, that one got canceled, stuff like that. I was using our our dots little checklist here to do that, and I love our highlight headers. Use those basically I think almost all month. I did play around with using some of our new mini icons to note some to-dos. I don't love how this looked with these dots. I like that it brought attention to the task, so I can look back really quickly and be like, oh, when did I do that? And see the icon that helps for a reference point. But I think in integrating these, I need to find a different way to do that because I don't like how it looks like dot, dot, icon. Sorry if you hear clicking around. My dog Champ has decided to get up from his nap, and his little fingernails you can hear hitting our floor. So I apologize for that annoyance. Then you can see here I used the house and made a box with the drop shader here for all our home tasks. Use some of our bullet journal icons, again, just to bring attention to like home and personal related tasks. Did that box concept here. This one was a little messy because I think at this point I was still trying to get back into the groove with my planner after we had moved. This was Matt and I's 4-year anniversary. I'm not loving that I used this patterned box when there's nothing else with patterns on it here, and this arrow. Sometimes I just do things and then I just don't feel like taking them off if I don't like them. So you have that. Little coffee meeting guy, used that. I was excited to finally be able to use our yard work stickers because now we have a yard. And then the weekend was kind of like meh. So I don't have usually a lot going on the weekends, although now we have more because we have the house and we're doing a lot of home projects. So I did have a weird little mini to-do list here. That was odd. I had written down record podcast, didn't do that, so I just noted to myself to do it Monday morning. I did like how this looks here, these like double outlined box with the solid box, and then kind of put the yard work. Just aesthetically it looks cool and it takes up space. Functionally, don't think it really serves a purpose. I do have my daily highlights here. I did not put a header there. And I have my habits as usual. So this one, I like the color scheme and parts of the layout, but you can see as we go here, it did evolve. So then we go to week 2, where I kind of used a rainbow color palette of what, I think probably what I had left on the sheet. So I'm not 100% into this color pairing situation that I have. It almost is a little too fall colored for me. Okay, so this is when I start to kind of shift over this layout. So again, we have the dividers here, right? And then we have the highlight headers, the to-do headers, and I use the outline check boxes here. That worked really great. Put all my to-dos here, noted that it didn't have much going on. I actually like using the icon. I tried this on this week better. So I have the checkbox here, which is real neutral and subtle, and then to like bring attention to the task, I put the little camera there for take photos. So if I'm flipping back there and go, when did we take those photos? It's easy to see that. So then what I did instead is I moved all the appointments over to the left side, and I'm using our little virtual meeting sticker and then writing the time and the appointments. Sometimes again I have to use whiteout to switch things around. So you can see how I did that there. My coffee meeting with Matt, noted that with a coffee cup, and used our little mini flags to just note how many hours of remote work I did that day. Then I decided to use the right hand side for home and personal. So I put our little house icons, hand drew a box with a ruler that is not, if it was me literally hand drawing it, it wouldn't even look like a box. And then threw the drop shadow in with the mild liner. And then did use my little stencil to do the hand drawn check boxes, marked those off if I went, or arrowed over if something didn't get done. So I do like the layout of this a lot better. On Saturday, I didn't use a header. I had some time-based things here. We had to go to the farmer's market and pick up our raw milk. So that had a time-based part of it. So that stayed on the left. Looks like I put one to do here in the middle, and then used an outline box with our date night sticker to overlap to create date night, but we ended up actually doing that on Friday, and I had laid this down because we usually do it on Saturday. So that was a little bit of a change. Used our arrow because we drove to North Carolina to go to Matt's uncle's to pick up his tools and stuff, and then we kind of used this Hello Weekend banner. I haven't used a weekend banner in a long time, and I was just trying to use up all stickers from a sheet. Did my usual blocking out here to have my unplugged time to plan. We're going to talk more about the unplugged in my goals video. And then my highlights, this is the standard operating justness here. So I did like this layout a lot better, and it continued to work for me as I went along through the month. This layout was my favorite of the month. I think this is, I'd have to look for sure, but these are the divider strips, I believe, for the vertical, I think. Or they might be the long ones for here. And I just laid them and trimmed them off with my little mini scissors. So I usually don't even like this much color on my planner, but I like kind of dig how this looks. So I did that. Whatever color was on top, that became then the color of the stickers and things underneath it. So these are the pastel kind of washi strips. Then I used the solid or the darker color of the individual dividers and the highlight headers. Did the same thing here with the house, but instead of using a hand-drawn box, I used our solid check boxes, and then did the same thing here with my appointments and my tracking my hours, and that worked great. Saturday had a little bit more of a to-do list. Didn't even bother putting on any check boxes. I just checked them off. These were more like errands, and these were like home tasks. And then our milk, did do an hour of work actually on Sunday for remote work, and just had a few things to do here, and you can see this concept just kind of fills up space, and I do that. Highlights down here for the day, and then habits. And then we go, I think this is this week. So this is this week that I'm actually filming. This filming it on Friday the 24th. A similar layout, but just use different stickers. So what I tried to do was take the to-do highlight header that are sized for the Makse like vertical, and use those as a header here in this right section. I actually like how that looked, and it gave me the ability to use the mini icons in here versus having the house and also doing the icons. It almost would be like icon overload. So this was kind of cool because I could intermix some of these check boxes again for tasks, and then when I wanted to, I could use some of the icons. I could have easily put like our little phone icon and our dollar icon. I don't know why I didn't. I probably just didn't have it in front of me and had these sitting there, because here I did use the phone icon, the bullet journal, one of the asterisks and the star from there. I used some of our brand spanking new icons, our little shopping bag for like shopping outings, And our little like grocery basket for a grocery trip, use that, have a drop off our garbage one. So I liked having this header here because then it allowed me to integrate a lot more of our mini icons. So, and I have like a dog hair or an eyelash stuck on here, probably dog hair. Then instead of using the highlight headers here, didn't want to overload highlight headers, I went and put the pastel individual dividers, and then I put the flags, the blank flags on either side and just kind of staggered it. I'd done this in a few months ago as well, and just hand wrote on it work and appointments. And I actually really like how this looks. It looks a little bit more open, and maybe that's just because I didn't have dividers like washi on here. I think this is really nice and light, and I liked this. Used the pastel dots. I just used these for my continual running to-do list. Did my appointments the same. Used a little check mark from the bullet journal sampler on there to note the hours that time. This is a hot mess. I don't know why I used to pick up groceries. I meant to just wait until our new mini grocery bag one came on and I could do this. I'm like rubbing pen everywhere. This looks like a hot mess. I don't know why I did this. And then I have my highlights here, and I actually have nothing. I just realized that I have nothing down for Sunday. None of my usual like unplug situation. So maybe I'll play with that later. So that's the week that we're in. And then I started to pre-plan for the next week. So I usually like to kind of get the framework down for my planner about a week or so in advance. And I don't know what I was thinking, you guys, but I do not like this. This came out so bizarre. So I still had some more of these strips left on the sheet I was using. Some I'm like Operation Use Up sheets that are almost done for whatever reason. And even though I liked how the divider strips looked on this week, I think having the color that you use so like if this is red, the stuff underneath it's red, orange, having it be the color that you use is the washi strip is below. It's like green versus this being green. I don't know if I'm making sense. I think this looks totally bizarre. I do not like it, but whatever. It's just my planner. It's fine. So same kind of concept. So what I did was I did the solid or the darker version of the divider strips. I did the rest of the pastel guys that I had. And the problem was this looks weird because anyways, okay, I'm going to have to just deal with it or take all these strips off and be done. So I have my work section, and I was not even going to bother with having an appointment section, I don't think. I was just going to write the appointments versus having the flag. So instead of having this flag here, I was just going to write the appointments and leave it without a header flag. I have the little houses down for my home checklist. I still have yet to go and draw my box around with the drop shadow. So I have that. And then this is just totally random. I did this 5 minutes before I filmed this video. We just released these for the vertical, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they cover up the dates for the horizontal. And they do. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to put these on here. I don't like how this looks. I'm guaranteed if I took this strip off, I probably would like how it looks. So when I take a picture of this, and probably down the road, or I show it on Instagram stories, these strips may not be here because I think that's what's causing the issue. There's too many colors next to each other, and it looks like a hot mess. So at least for the month of August, the width of these works in the horizontal. So if you kind of like this concept of doing this, just to add color to your planner, you could. Or let's say you just bought the Makse Life Planner and you're like, what am I going to do with the January through June of 2020? You could make it into 2021 and get these guys, cover up the dates, and just use the planner until next summer. So we will be releasing these, I believe, in the horizontal if this does not work for the longer worded months. So we'll see. You got to test that out. But it is available for the vertical, and it fits at least for August or July or whatever the heck month we're in. So this is my framework. I also used our mini podcast icon here, and what I'm going to try this week is highlighting whatever kind of main work task I have with an icon, and then using the subsequent checkbox strips for the rest of my to-do list. And then I usually have at least one meeting a day, so I have those guys down. I don't put the times or anything in case anything changes. And literally I took the little excess pieces and tried to make a rainbow strip here. I don't know, guys, I'm just not digging that at all. So this is kind of my before the pen, and then I have a sticker here, one of our labels for Farmers Market, but I don't like that this is solid. So I may end up switching this out for an outlined box and change that because I don't like that. That looks too heavy right there compared to all this open outlined space. Okay, that's it. I'm like rambling. This video is supposed to be 5 minutes, and it's going on. No, we just hit 15. Okay, so that is kind of my July spreads / last week of July before the pen. So you can kind of see how my planner spreads evolved over the months. I do feel like I'm getting into a groove now, and I'm really liking having my to-do list in the middle, my appointments on the left, and my house tasks on the right. So this is working really well right now. So let me know if you guys have any questions, if you have any sticker suggestions. Let me know how your July went. I hope you're doing well and enjoying a warm, relaxing summer if you can. I know it's not the normal summer with everything that's going on, but hopefully you're getting a little bit of rest and sunshine. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Have an awesome week.